as we always do in Imagine Lubbock Together, we began to bring partners together. The first place we went with the South Plains Homeless Consortium, who was extremely receptive to helping deal with the issue. And the second place we went was the Lubbock Police Department. Ironically, before we could get to them, they had already started working on this issue and had a plan that was in perfect synergy with what the Homeless Consortium was working on and what the interests of downtown business owners were. So it's a great example of the community coming together, working together, partnering together, and we want to just really commend Chief Stevens and Detective Burgin for the work that they have done, and looking forward to their announcement today. So if I can introduce Chief Stevens.
I always say that I'll be brief, and a lot of times I mean it. So the City of Lubbock, the mission statement of the City of Lubbock, to sum it up very briefly, is to grow the city. Economically, geographically, and on and on. And so as I took this position, and before that as an assistant chief, the Lubbock Police Department's mission statement has to feed into that. It has to contribute to that, and ours does. The fire departments, Parks and Rec, every department in the city has to feed into that mission statement of grow Lubbock, grow it economically, grow it geographically, grow it, personally, whatever it needs to do to meet the needs of the citizens of Lubbock. And so as I pondered that, it's incumbent upon me to figure out what does Lubbock need from us. And it's not always grow it with a new development somewhere, to grow it with annexations, anything like that. That's part of it. And I would hear a lot about downtown redevelopment, and that's not something that we necessarily take the lead on, that either city government or that the police department. But if that's going on, if private business is doing something anywhere, downtown Lubbock, far southeast Lubbock, east Lubbock, north Lubbock, wherever, I have to look at that, and it's incumbent upon me to look at that and say, how do I contribute and what do I need to do to support that effort and make sure that we're providing good law enforcement service to that. And in the last several months, working on mission statements, make sure that mine feeds into that. And one of the key things was we had a vacancy in the administration part of the police department of an assistant police chief. And so earlier I passed out what will be promulgated as our new mission statement. John Caspel was promoted to assistant chief in December, and I'm always big to make sure credit goes where it's due. John Caspel helped to formulate that, in fact wrote it, and then we fine-tuned it together, and that'll be put out here in the next couple of weeks to all of our police department. It'll be more than just something on the wall. It's something we'll live by, and then each unit in the department will have to create their own mission statement that feeds into that one, very much the same as our overall mission statement feeds into the city mission statement. And so what kept coming up is homeless issues downtown especially, but throughout the city. And as I said earlier today when we were meeting, I don't have the solution for that. Every police officer is different and has different ideas and different specialties that they do. And I struggled with that. And on my desk actually was a large stack of things that I'm going to get around to. And bless John Caspel's heart, when he promoted to assistant chief, that stack is on his desk then. It's down to a very short stack. He's done great work. But one of those issues was, how do I help in this downtown redevelopment? Because that's one of the big issues. And also, how do I provide what other cities are doing where the police department is part of the scene? They're not just there for enforcement. We'll do that if need be, but they're there to give visitors directions, how to find this restaurant or this venue or whatever. We're there just as part of the downtown scene, and that's a vision, a mission that we're creating as well, with mounted patrol units, with foot patrol units, things like that. But this kept weighing on me. And I'm not a person that believes in coincidences. I won't get too philosophical on that, but I'll just say, for the lack of argument, coincidentally, a homicide detective came to me and said, "Do you have a minute?" And I didn't, of course, I never do, but I said, "Sure, come on in." And we actually met. We met at Triple J's downtown, ironically. He had approached me a while before, and we talked about community-oriented policing. And I remember that conversation, and I knew that's something he kind of wanted to meet about. And he handed me a proposal. And if nothing else, I want to be remembered for being approachable. I want every police officer and every civilian employee to know that you can come to me with an idea, but I want you to know that if I think it's a bad idea, bring in your thick skin, because I'm going to tell you, I don't know if that's going to work. Keep working on this. And I want them to know that, hey, this is a good idea, but we don't have the resources. We cannot do this right now. Let's hold on to it, keep working on it, and when we can, we will. So Stephen Burgin brought me a great idea, something that I couldn't solve on my own. And he'd done all the research. It was a finished product. It wasn't something that we needed to keep looking at and working on. It was a finished product. And my first question to him was, well, we need resources. I can't put a lot to it, but let me ask you this. It's your idea. Do you want to do it? You're a homicide detective. You're like at the top of your game. Do you want to leave the great job of homicide detective and go out and do this? And his answer was, oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I brought it to you. So we started looking at that. We started looking at what resources to put to it. And in a time of manpower crisis that we face, it's hard to make that decision to create a new unit, to stand up a new unit. But I think it's going to be a force multiplier that we can bring to bear so that other police officers who are not skilled and who are not good, like me, at dealing with homelessness issues, these officers, this unit, will be a resource to them. And so we started putting that in action, and I want to give all that credit because it's an opportunity for me to say, okay, let's do it. Make it work, get going on it. And we brought more resources in. It consists of a sergeant, it's got a police supervisor, and 2 corporals. The sergeant of the unit is Eric Quijada. Just say Q, he'll know who you're talking about. And Corporal Stephen Burgin. We looked for another officer, Corporal Corey Archambault. These guys, most importantly, and something I can't emphasize enough, is putting the right people in the right places, doing the right things at the right time. Sounds like a catchphrase, you've read that in books, but nothing is more valuable than actually living by that and actually doing that and not trying to use your people like they're all the same. We're all different. It's the same uniform everyone's wearing, but every one of us has different skill sets. These guys, not only are they good at it and can they do it, they want to do it. So that's the new HOT unit, as we'll refer to it, the Homeless Outreach Team. And I can't give them enough accolades right now. They have, over the last 2-3 weeks, I got an email last night at 7:15 p.m. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know who they met with, but I only had time to skim the email. These guys are nailing it. They are hitting it out of the park. They're not even a unit yet. This unit does not officially stand up until February 20th. They are already having a huge impact across our city. Downtown specifically, where homeless population is concentrated, but we have this issue across the city. These guys are nailing it. They're doing an unbelievable, outstanding job already. I go on and on about it. I'll quit. The one that's got all the information, it's his idea, and I want everyone that works in the Lubbock Police Department, and I encourage you in your business, if you've got someone that brings you an idea, and it's good. If it's not good, tell them it's not good. But if it is good, give it a try if you've got the resources and run with it. So let me introduce Corporal Stephen Burgin, one of the corporals in our new HOT unit, the Homeless Outreach Team.
Hello, thanks, Chief. Also want to thank the Chamber, Imagine Lubbock Together, all the groups that kind of came together, came to the Chief and said, hey, what can you guys do to help out with our homeless issue? Last year, the Chief and I had talked briefly on some issues that I saw coming up within the homeless population and what we can do to help out. And so I did some research and we came across the Homeless Outreach Team, which is referred to as HOT. A number of departments across the United States have this kind of department, and basically what it is, it's pretty easy to figure out. We basically help out the homeless folks, and we're talking of basic needs as maybe they need a birth certificate, helping them get driver's license or even a resume. Maybe they don't have the ability to do that. We have an office, we provide an office. We'll literally shepherd these people. Look, let's go to our office and let's help you out. It's kind of going to be an alternative to enforcing something. A lot of times when our officers show up now, they're real limited in what they can do to help somebody out. And so we're basically going to be there to be a phone call, and we can show up and allocate them, refer them, or drive them, or take them somewhere where they actually need to go and get some help, as opposed to taking them to jail or something like that. I found out just in the couple weeks we've been here, it's been a big outcry, it seems like, from the community, from businesses. They're very excited about what we're going to do. We've had a lot of outpouring of support, which is great, which makes us feel that we're going to be extremely successful. So just appreciate everything that everybody's done to help us out so far.
So with that, we'll answer a couple of questions that you might have. Kind of open it up for that. I want to say thanks to everyone's here, the city council members, city management that's here. Thanks to the businesses that are here. And I got to tour this building with Leadership Lubbock yesterday. I want to say thanks to Bart Rager. What a great facility. This building has been vacant for 25 years. And again, this is a private business. This is a private entity that's doing this. We want to make sure that we're there to provide law enforcement service, whatever that may be. And law enforcement is about problem solving. That's what we do.